continue to track all the latest emerging as far as Delhi's deteriorating air quality is concerned. Joining us on the show to talk about Delhi's toxic air and what can the government really do is Dr. Gufran Beg, Chair Professor and Founder Project Director at SAFAR, the System for Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research. Also with us is Vimlendu Jha, he's an environmentalist. Also joining us on the show is Dr. Vivek Nangia. He's a Vice Chairman and Head of Pulmonology at Max Saket. Thank you very much, all of you, for taking time out for joining us on the show. I want to come to you first. Dr. Gufran, what are you making of the latest AQI data that is coming as of last 24 hours? It is in the severe category. It's hazardous. In your assessment, what's the primary source? Is it vehicular pollution, or does it continue to be what Delhi government calls and often blames stubble burning?
See, the point here is, at this stage of time, is the weather is getting hostile, temperature is going down. In fact, temperature has not gone down as it would have gone down by this time. Otherwise, it would have been really entered in the severe zone. Now it is hovering between very poor to severe. The another problem is that hourly basis CPCB cut the data at PM 2.5, 350 microgram per meter cube. Otherwise, it would have entered in the severe category by now. But then coming back to your question is that what is contributing to this, you will see at any point of time, transport sector will continue to remain the dominating source. Here and there, it is going to be 7, 8%, 9%, all those coming from the stubble burning. But then that will go on for next 15 days more. So the crux of the problem is that unless, as you have already mentioned in the initial comments, which you had told that we need to talk with the several states nearby, in a scientific terminology, what we call is the airshed approach. Unless we take all these measures which has been taken by AQM in a airshed region, which involves part of the 6 more state, problem is going to remain like this. As far as stubble burning concerned, counts have gone down significantly this year. Still, it has not hovering between 400 to 500, which is not going to make much of a difference, even if weather conditions are congenial. But there is a controversy in that also, because farmers, as told by many, I don't understand, I don't know what is the reality, that they are burning when the satellite has passed. If that is the case, then their contribution has to go down, but it will not be captured by our own forecasting media, because they are taking only NASA's satellite.
Okay.
So in conclusion, what your answer is, transport, vehicular pollution, congestion, and deteriorating weather, this is going to create a problem. 30% of the stubble burning contribution is predicted for tomorrow, but that is based on the historical data for past. It is not going to go that much if the counts continue to remain about 400, 500, because that prediction is based on the 10 years or earlier years average, where used to be huge amount of fire.
Okay. Dr. Gufran, safe to say that the Delhi air is hazardous at the moment, that there are long-term issues that it's going to cause to people who are breathing this air, including many of us, people who are sitting here in the national capital. In your assessment, a lot of it is to be blamed on weather, geographical factors, as many are pointing out today. Government is also saying that, this time of the year is when pollutants are trapped on ground. There's low speed of wind, there is low intensity, days are colder, and so therefore we can't do much. Would you agree with that the government cannot do much, and because these are environmental factors?
I mean, it should be very clear. 2 points need to be very clear. Whatever anyway you said, answer is clear. I don't agree at all.
Okay.
Answer of that question. Now, why I do not agree, I will tell you. There are 2 reasons. Firstly, by the policy wise, in NCAP 1, we were targeting city, states, and city emission-centric approach. We need to forget it. In the new era, you need to go to airshed approach. That means the area which enjoys the similar kind of a climate or weather. And that is the area we need to, even if you do everything, even if we stop all the vehicles in Delhi, pollution is going to go to poor and very poor, because you are only doing part of the airshed, not the complete airshed. Number 1. So the policy need to shift from the city-centric to the airshed-centric, where there would be a combination of a 5-6 states. We need to speak with each other from the neighboring states, otherwise things are not going to improve. Number one. Number two, we are keep on working on a different denial state, and we are not targeting what we are supposed to do it. For example, I heard that recently, yesterday from the implementing agency says that carpooling is being advised. We should understand that in a transport sector, car overall gives you the 6 to 7% of the pollution, because it's the most what you call is a commodity for us. Still, we maintain it very nicely. So even if you do the carpooling, maybe 1 or 2% you are not looking for 1 or 2%. So if you want to target in a transport sector, target diesel vehicle with the heavy duty and low duty commercial vehicle. If they are not entering in Delhi, nearby area also, it is creating a big problem. 2% of the heavy duty vehicles contribute to 25% of the transport emissions. We should understand. So prioritize based on the science. The biggest problem which I have been seeing here in this kind of a mitigation strategy, there is a gap between a scientific good advice versus implementers.
Lots of good advice there, but very little implementation for that matter. Vimlendu Jha, because there are appears to be strong barriers. What we essentially heard Gufran saying is that we need to take dramatic actions. Carpooling is not enough. Suggesting people at this point in time to use public transport is not enough. We need dramatic policy intervention. We need to be able to work with our neighboring states. Perhaps time to put politics aside and do something substantial on ground, because the data firstly doesn't match the reality, and even if it does, it's as dramatic as it gets.
Yes, and also the role of the government is not to give suggestions and advisories alone. The government puts the onus on individual car owners or individuals to really do X, Y, Z. Reality is that what is the government supposed to do if we are supposed to make our choices or correct our...
Dr. Vivek Nangia, one of the problems I also have is that there are not enough current public health advisories in place.
That the time has come that we decide our outdoor movement based on the AQI levels. If the AQI level is 400 and above, then it's not safe to move at all for anybody. Your outdoor movement should be as minimal as possible.
Coming back to you, Dr. Beg, thank you very much, Dr. Nangia. Let's start with that, for putting that in perspective. A lot of things that you said today are perhaps not known to people, widely not known to people. For that matter, burning of agarbatti, which is a common practice, incense sticks. Many a times people believe that it cleanses the air. So thank you for putting that in perspective, that while you're hoping to cleanse the air, you may be pushing out more pollutants, especially PM 2.5. But coming back to you, Dr. Beg, are you happy with the system of air quality? I mean, you are somebody who's responsible, you have been responsible for SAFAR, which is a system of air quality and weather forecasting. But today, are you happy? Many questions are, of course, being raised on how weather forecasting systems, as Vimlendu was also pointing out, are outdated. Sometimes they're placed in areas and locations which may not be very useful, because these are not areas or locations which likely have more pollution levels. Are you happy with the current systems we have? And, allegations that data is being manipulated, perhaps it's being suppressed. Is there any merit to it?
Partially, because the point here is that whatever Nivendu says, that I think I agree to an extent. The point here is that there should be a guidelines which are not getting updated. For example, there is a guidelines for the CPCB that a station should be away 20 meters from immediate source of pollutants, but it doesn't say how much away. So in that pretext, some of the people put it 100 meters within the garden where the water bodies are around, and then obviously it will be underestimated. Similarly, that water is splinking around this, there are news which are happening. Those are the things which are happening. So the point is that, as I mentioned earlier, transparency in the data, whatever it is there, today or tomorrow we are going to come to know, and it is finally affecting our health. We should be very candid about that particular thing. And that is where the system need to. But then last thing, which is something which I have been from earlier time also, I have been pleading and doing this, that location of the station micro environment within a city should be scientific. And there is a WMO, United Nations agency's clear-cut guidelines that it should be placed as per the different microenvironment constitute the city, like near the traffic junction, near the downtown, near the background, near the suburban area, near the shopping area, near the water bodies, near the residential area. So all those upwind direction, downwind direction. These are the way by which, but then more.
But is that happening?
That is not happening. That is where all the question comes.
Absolutely.
It all depends on the convenience where you get easily is the place and you place it something. Government can do all because there should not be any compromise in making this kind of a guidelines that yes, this is finally affecting our quality of the data. So those is one thing. Another one is airshed approach need to be done because air pollution do not demarcate political or administrative boundaries. For control measures, quick fix need to be stopped to the level where we are not supposed. Let us wait, but try to do try to do long term. And maybe, for a quick fix, we have been doing for last 5 years. Now, by this time, if long term measure would have taken, I think we would have got some results by this time.
All right. We would have got some results. We're not getting some results, I believe, which is where the entire question is. And